Good morning and welcome to the Bowtie Gardens. I'm Bowtie Dave. We're looking at the strawberry patch. If you saw my short from the other day, you saw some of the harvest out of here. It's pretty cool. I've been harvesting not quite every day, but very frequently. And I get anywhere from half a pound to two whole pounds of strawberries out of this patch right now, and it is wonderful. We're freezing almost all of them. We're almost filled a 4th-gallon bag, Ziploc bag in the freezer, and more to come. So it's very exciting harvest. Here it is. This is March 25th. This should be coming out, I'm hoping, March 27th, and I have a contingency plan for the 28th if that doesn't happen. But it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like 28 degrees Celsius out here, and it has been beautiful for a while now. I mean, really, really beautiful. And our weather has just been amazing since Christmas. We here in Destin, Florida, we're kind of out in a peninsula. We're surrounded on the north side by the Choctawhatchee Bay, and on the south side by the Gulf of Mexico. It kind of regulates our temperatures. It can be as much as 10 to 12 degrees cooler the other side of the bay over here, just a few miles away, and maybe 8 miles, I think it is. But our weather here gets very well regulated by all the water that surrounds us. In fact, in the mornings when we're checking the weather, we always have to ask Google what the water temperature is, because that's going to tell us how much effect it's going to have on our weather. Because sometimes, like the other day, it was 48 degrees in the air. We had a cold front come through, but the water was 71 degrees, and so by an hour after sunup, we were already in the 60s. And this has just been what's happening all year long so far. We hadn't had any more freezes since Christmas, which is really wonderful. Of course, the strawberries here really enjoyed it. And well, the wood chip pile is still the wood chip pile, no matter what the temperature. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. This is the first of 3 parts of our garden tours. These are my own personal journals. I record these so that in the future I can remember what I did and what I had and where things were and what was going on. My ADD brain, I just cannot remember that kind of stuff, and I'm not a writer. I'm not the kind of person that writes in a journal. I know a lot of people are, and I think that's fantastic. I've tried to create a log, a journal. I've tried doing it on the computer. I've tried doing it in a notebook. I've tried doing it on my phone, and my brain just doesn't get it. These videos, though, I get. My brain says, all right, let's go make a video real quick. I hop out the tripod here, which you're on right now, and record a video and get things going, and then I can upload it to YouTube, and YouTube has agreed to store it for a while for me, and you are welcome to follow along if you so desire, if you find it at all interesting. In fact, if you find it interesting, please subscribe to the channel, because we got 2 more parts. We have the front and side gardens, which are the smaller gardens. We have the outer beds, which we're getting ready to gear up for, and we have the raised garden beds in the back, which are getting ready to gear up too. But I've been working on the front and side gardens quite a bit. You can see in some of the reels that's come out and some other videos. In fact, if this comes out on the 27th, tomorrow there's going to be another video that comes out about the citrus tree, which you'll see the result of in this video in just a little bit. So anyway, you're welcome to join along in my personal logs and my personal journal of what's been going on. It is a little sunny. The sky is beautiful. There's dark clouds over here. There's little patches of blue all over, which is why you see the sun shining directly every once in a while. I'm wearing my UV protected safety glasses right now, which I like because you can see my eyes, and I don't know, it's kind of a personal thing. But yeah, so we got a few new things planted in the garden, and I am ready to show you what we got going on. It's very exciting. There's lots of great stuff going on. So here we go. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. I always start with the strawberry patch on the southwest corner of our property, and we're actually pointed directly west right now. East, southeast corner of our property, where that direction is east, that's south. And the strawberries are in the shadow of the chip pile. And yes, the chip pile has grown over last month. I can't remember if it was this big or not. It's big. But I mean, you can see, if you look in here, you can see red strawberries everywhere in here. There's red strawberries, little pink flowers, little white flowers, weeds, all kinds of stuff growing up in these strawberries. They're looking wonderful. In fact, I can reach down here and see a strawberry right. Look at that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is why not all of it makes it to the freezer. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was red through and through. Oh, that was so tasty. I could come out here and harvest twice a day. I've agreed to let the slugs have some of them. And no birds. I have not seen birds in here. I have not seen squirrels in here, and that is because of my decoys. And I have 350 some odd rocks painted red. These are just river rock, a bag of river rock from Ace Hardware. And I painted them all red, and I threw them in here over a year ago. And ever since, I haven't had problems with squirrels, hadn't had problems with birds or anything. Now, this bed, you can see how big it is, okay? I've heard people say, oh, the rocks don't work. Well, they took 12 stones and tossed them out there. What's the chances of a bird hitting one of the stones over 100 strawberries in this bed? You got to have a lot more stones than you have strawberries in there. A lot more. If I had 500 stones in here, it would be better. If the ground was completely red, I'd be dancing on the ceiling. So yeah, you got to get enough of these red rocks, and you can see they're red rocks everywhere in here. And I've actually seen birds come in here and hit. In fact, I see one hidden up underneath there. I saw a bird right there pecking on that rock. It's a pretty good sized rock, and he was pecking on that rock. And I've not seen birds in here. That's the only time I've ever seen a bird in here, and that was not too long ago. But I haven't seen any strawberries that were pecked. I do see them that are eaten by slugs, but not very often, because there are just so many of them. But yeah, this has been a great bed. We're coming up on 16 pounds. We will be passing the 16 pound mark here in a day or so if we don't eat too many of them. But tons and tons and tons of strawberries. We have a bare corner over here that we're going to get propagated out with strawberries this year, so that we have everything go. There's a few bare spots you can see. We need to get these weeds out of here so that the strawberries can take over. We don't really have any runners right now, so I'm not even worried about it. But the pomegranates, so look at these pomegranates. These things are just getting ready. So this is what they look like. Ow, what was that? Oh, this is what they look like when they first coming out. See, they're kind of closed up at the end, and then they open up. And if you ever look at a pomegranate, you'll recognize this serrated edge right here. That's the base of the pomegranate. This thing develops into a beautiful flower. Ooh, I broke it off. Oops. Well, it's okay. There's a lot of them on there. Anyway, so it gets pollinated, and the seeds develop right up inside here. And this is the part that blows up like a balloon and becomes the pomegranate, and grows over the next few months. So you can see, in fact, you can see here, this one is a little bit larger. Some of them are larger, some of them are smaller. The ones that are successfully pollinated become pomegranates. So we got two here. We still have a dead one. I'm pretty sure that one's not going to make it. I will end up replacing that with one of the pomegranates you're going to see later in the seedlings seedling trays. We have our chocolate mint, which is just taking off, raving this year. Oh, this smells so good. Oh, it is wonderful stuff. Keeps the squirrels away, keeps the rats away. Haven't had rats. Now, I've had rats in my attic. I haven't had rats in this bed. which I think is very cool. I know that because I set traps in here at night. Got to do that again here soon, but yeah. So that's 2 jalapeno plants. They are blooming. They've been fed. They need to get fed again, but the blooms look wonderful, and we're gonna get some more jalapenos. I actually picked a bunch and gave them to a friend not too long ago, but look, we have new growth on here. Look at the brand new growth. It's looking great, and there's a little bloom right there about to open up. So lots of jalapenos getting ready to pop out of here. Speaking of jalapenos, we have some early jalapenos in these red solo cups. They're starting to put out their first and second. This is 2 true sets of true leaves. So they are really beginning to come out. We have over here, we have Pepadew from Chili Chump, and they have just grown strong. Down over here, we have some Roma tomatoes. And then on the bottom shelf, we have even more. What do we have? Mostly tomatoes, Principe Bourgeois on the right, Everglade tomatoes in the foreground right here. We have, trying to see the tags, Nebraska wedding in the back, and more Nebraska wedding on the front. So these things are looking good. We have in the starting trays, we have cauliflower, which has been started very late. We have more sunflowers and a 6-pack of another pepper. And since we're covering seedlings, we have a whole bunch. Look at these sunflowers getting tall. We'll be thinning these out to a single 1 per cup. We've got Kajari melons, which are looking awfully leggy. We have cucumbers, which are coming out with true leaves already, looking strong. We have, there's some more of those sunflowers that have just popped up. Onions, we have basil, we have more artichokes to go in the artichoke bed, which we'll see very soon. But of course, on the back of the strawberries, we have our 2 brown turkey fig trees. And this one here, has had a very tough life. It actually broke off once in a windstorm, very early, grew again, this thing grew, and then it went over through the Christmas freeze. Now it's coming out again at the base with new branches, and we're gonna have to baby this thing along and get this thing growing, because this is gonna go somewhere important. Can't wait. This will be awesome. So getting some weeds pulled out here, of course, always pulling those weeds, always pulling weeds, always pulling weeds. Anyway, brown turkey fig, this is the one we were worried about. I thought this one was dead, I really did, but look at this thing. It started off down here, and it's coming up, it's working its way up. I don't know how high it's gonna get, but it does look like there's green up in here. I don't want to scratch it too bad because I don't want to damage the young tree. It will heal from those, but it makes me a little nervous. All the garlic. Okay, so the garlic is going. San Diego Seed Company asked me how the garlic is doing, and so we planted 155 cloves of garlic. We lost 2. We still have 155 cloves of garlic. How did that happen? I don't know. I must have missed a couple of cloves being separated somewhere, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So got garlic along here. You can see it's starting to look a little brown around the edges, which is okay. We're coming up to about halfway through their life. Our Plumeria, not sure what's going to happen there. So Plumeria, yeah, it's just a stick. Up here in the asparagus patch, I actually planted 3 green globe asparagus. I'm so excited to finally have those in here looking this strong. Those leaves are almost a foot long, and they've got new leaves coming. This is a brand new leaf that's been growing up since it was planted, and it is a strong leaf. Same thing over there, that's got a strong leaf, and this one here is just starting a strong leaf. I did finally plant, if you follow along, there's my yarrow. So this yarrow will grow up pretty big underneath the windmill. Another jalapeno here, looking just like the others that we just saw. It's getting ready to shoot out with jalapenos. Mrs. Bowtie's pansies here in the bottom of the windmill, some amaryllis behind here, getting ready to green up and hopefully shoot us another flower here. We got some amaryllis coming over in just a little bit, but here's our front yard fig tree. Now this is not a brown turkey fig, this is a regular fig tree, but looky down inside here. We actually have real figs coming up, and that is exciting, very exciting. There's a few of them on here. There's another one over here, right here underneath the leaf, and there's half a dozen in here somewhere. Some have fallen off, but I'm not too sweating about it. This tree's 4th year, but we're entering its 2nd year being in this place here when it's really started to shoot up. And you can see I've kept kind of a goblet shape right out of the ground, which is what I was looking for. I want the leaves to start about as high as they are right there, and I want this thing to grow up. Now some of you have not seen these 3 pots, and these are our sunchokes, also called Jerusalem artichoke. And you can see we actually have a couple getting ready to grow up here. This one's looking strong. This one's looking really strong. We got them in the pots because they are a bit invasive, and I decided to keep them in control. So there's more in here and even more down here in this 3rd pot. So I do have plans to put at least 2 more of those artichokes in over there. Our mums from last fall. These are the orange and yellow mums. They are looking very strong. No flowers, of course, because they're not to that point, but they are looking thick and strong, and managed to keep them alive, which I'm very excited about. The hedges, of course, always needing trimmed. I was thinking about trimming them before we did our tours, and well, that didn't happen, did it? Now did it? So that's okay, because now we have a pollinator bed. Now this is the back pollinator bed of the 2. There's another one up there we're going to cover in just a second, but you can see we have, first of all, amaryllis. These things are beautiful. Look at those things. That is just amazing flower. And then all the zinnias. There are zinnias everywhere. These were all from deadheading last year's flowers. And I haven't disturbed what's in the between here very much at all. I've pulled out some more aggressive stuff, but like this little area down here, I thought, man, these little yellow flowers are the coolest thing. And I know they're an invasive thing, and they'll get pulled out, but you'll notice there's a zinnia right here in the middle, and I didn't want to damage that. So I thought, well, I'll let this yellow go until that thing gets stronger, and then we'll have another talk about it. But another thing, if you remember, last year, these sticks sticking out of the ground, these are Thai plants. And I've always been told these Thai plants in Florida are very robust. And I was not sure until just recently I noticed, if you look down here, look, there's new growth. So this is a purple plant, purple leaf, purple stem. It will be growing up, and it'll get about 4 feet tall. And if it doesn't freeze next winter, it'll get even bigger than that. But there's one there. Every single one of these has new growth in the base. This one's really hard to see right now. You can actually kind of see that one sticking up out of the bottom there, looking very strong. And the 4th one over here, you can see is also going strong. Looky there. Now this purple flower, look at that. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to find out what that is. That's a beautiful flower. But look at all the zinnias. The zinnias are just going crazy. More of those yellow flowers in the old, this used to be a, what was that, orange bell pepper. Really good orange bell pepper. There's a spent amaryllis. Amaryllis don't stay very long. They stay a couple weeks, which is a little disappointing, but then they look beautiful and green forever, and they grow a new bulb or 2. So that thing will develop into more. I do need to clear out around those so they can develop another bulb. So up here on the front of the sycamore tree, we have more garlic. And yes, they are getting little brown around the edges, which is what they're supposed to do, because looky here, folks. Think about the layers of paper around a garlic. And if you look here, each one of these leaves is another layer of paper around the garlic. And so this is the first outer layer that's starting to die. And it's going, and oh, in fact, you can see there's another one down here. As these layers die off, and I'm the kind of person that lets these things go until they're all dead. And when they're all just dead, that's when I harvest them. And so they've got a while to go. They got several leaves. They're also, in fact, you can see right in the middle here, you see that's actually growing a new leaf, and it'll grow another new leaf in there, and they just come out of each other and grow up, 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 and up. So all these garlic are going strong. Some of these are hardneck garlics and will eventually be producing scapes. There are no scapes yet. So this was a peppermint bag, and I stuck a chocolate mint down in here. I just grabbed a clump out of another plant and just shoved it in here, and it's taking off. And I'm kind of regretting that because I want to keep this one to a peppermint. I really like the peppermint. The chocolate mint is just great to eat just right off the plant. But peppermint tea is one of my very favorite things, and this old peppermint plant has expired. It is not coming back, I'm afraid. So yeah, but I do want peppermint. I try to keep, in my OCD brain, I try to keep these grow bags alternate between chocolate mint and peppermint. And the one over in the strawberry patch is chocolate mint. This one is the next one. It should be peppermint. That's just how my brain works. So always weeding, always pulling those weeds up from the roots. Look at there, there's some good roots. No, that is not mint I'm pulling up. It's weeds. Coming around here to the front pollinator bed. See more zinnias all over the place. There's actually zinnias coming up everywhere now. We do have our rain lilies, which are getting a little bit overtaken by more dollarweed. The dollarweed is just prolific. I'm a little concerned that it's a little too crowded. I did clear this bed once already. Gonna have to do it again, but looky here. That's yarrow and that's yarrow. These things, the package says they're gonna get up to 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. So it should be a clump in there. And then I want to put something bigger back over here, and I'm not sure what yet. I may talk about that before we get to when we get to the outer beds. But look at all the zinnias. Zinnias, and they're at all stages here. This one's just about to open up. This one here is not quite ready to open up, but it's getting there. This one's just a baby. Some of them are all the way open. These are kind of small. And I'm cutting these for Mrs. Bowtie's desk. She has a little bottle on her desk. If you saw on Facebook, you might have seen the bottle I posted. This back here, this is an angel trumpet. And so I'm really anxious to see if this will get flowers this year. It's looking strong. And of course we have our Egyptian walking onion row right here on the edge. Now remember, each one of these clumps, if you remember from some of the early garden tours, each one of these clumps started with 1 or 2 strands. And now look at them. They are just growing up, and they're coming up with, see this little bulbule right here? There's actually several bulbules in there. This will peel open. In fact, you can see here's one getting ready to peel open. And then here's one that's in the process of peeling open. And this will get heavier and heavier and heavier. And this will set down into the ground and grow a new plant, a whole new set of plants. We'll keep these in control. These are great for green onions. Just picking them, cutting them off, and using them in cooking. Of course, we can't forget the trees out here, the big trees, the sycamore tree, which is this massive tree that's sitting right next to the house. Now, a sycamore tree is supposed to be hurricane friendly. Reason is because it has large leaves, but it will let go of those leaves before it takes down the tree. And the root system is amazing. They stretch out. I've dug up roots to every single corner of this front yard. But this, they're starting to come out with their green leaves. They finished dropping all their little seed pods. This first crepe myrtle, it's got a few green leaves up inside there, and that's about it. The second one is really starting to come out. These will have the pink flowers on them when they come up total in its entirety at its peak. And of course, the decorative pear, the doomed decorative pear. And you can see up there, there's a lot of white buds up there. I thought we might have some more buds by now, but it just doesn't seem to be very many. So that may have been the entire flush. It seems like it was kind of minimal, but you can see right on there, that area there, there's bees up there. But last year there was a lot more. And of course, our cedar and all the branches that we've cut. You'll see where those come from here in just a little bit. Of course, watch the video. I'm hoping this is coming out on the 27th. The video on this pile of branches is coming out on the 28th. You'll see where it's from here in just a few minutes. A lot of branches, a lot of cutting, a lot of work. But here we are in the asparagus bed, and we have our prime asparagus. We have 2 other asparagus. I think we've officially lost the other 3. One of these down here is holy basil. I think that one right there is holy basil, but I am not sure. I'm gonna have to get out the plant identifier. This right here though is Genovese basil, as well as that over there. I wanted to get more basil out of here, so they will be looking strong, looking good, attracting good insects. And of course, there is another yarrow up here. I finally got all 4 yarrow planted out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 1 in the artichoke bed, 2 in the front pollinator bed, and 1 here. That's all 4. I actually planted those from seed last year, and I'm gonna grow a few more this year. So there's 1 amaryllis up there, which is looking all green. It hadn't shot up any flower heads yet. Got another jalapeno right here, which really looks strong. It's got a little bit of yellow, but I'm gonna have to feed these a little bit, so it'll fix that. More garlic. Here's the chocolate mint. And of course, our pindo date is getting ready to start shooting. You can almost see there's a pod right there. Go watch that video coming out tomorrow to see what that looks like and how big those get. Right below the pindo date, we have our chocolate mint. When the dates fall, the squirrels love the pindo dates. They love eating them down here on the ground. And so at the end of our pea bed, I have put a chocolate mint to hopefully keep them at least a little at bay. But we're down here, basil, onions, and peas. Mammoth melting snow peas. First off, the basil. Now this is interesting because I've been hardening these off before they got planted out. And you see, they did get some sunburn on here, but look at all the new growth on the top. It's new, strong growth, and these are gonna be really good once it gets to this full, strong growth in here. Now the onions, a lot of them are looking good. Some of them are a little saggy. I'm hoping they come back out. We planted out 35 onions, and then we planted out a countless number of mammoth melting snow peas. Yesterday, there were none. This morning, I found 2. And now is the afternoon, and looky here, looky here, looky here. There's like a dozen, actually, there's about a dozen of them. There's one there, there's another one here. Oh my goodness, there's even more than a dozen because they're just coming up today. Look at right there, there's one. There's 3 right there. There's another random onion of the 35 I planted. Looking on the other side, these are all coming up right now. So go back and look at that video on when we planted these and how we planted these and the arch trellis that we put in for them to grow up, because these are tall ones. These grow 6 foot tall. I don't think they're gonna grow to the very tippy top, but they're gonna grow pretty high. Last year I had a 4 foot high cattle panel for these, and it kind of overgrew the top, so I thought definitely going with the arches. Oh, and so yeah, elephant in the room. Yeah, we have those 2 beds, and those are going to be the top 2 of 5 tiers eventually. But we got, this is the arch that I wanted to put on the top 2. And you can see here, it's looking strong, ready to hold up some mammoth melting snow, sugar snow peas. Very excited about that. A little bit of extra horse compost manure, some extra cattle panels, and well, look at this grapefruit tree. The pink grapefruit has been trimmed. In fact, I need to get a better angle on this. So check out this pink grapefruit tree. It has been entirely cut back. There might be a few little branches I may still take off. I'm gonna have to see how it performs. Give you an idea of what it looked like. You see the other one right there? It was almost identical to that pink grapefruit tree back over there. We've cut off all the dead branches I could find. There may be, like I said, there may be a few more spots, but I kind of scratched the bark everywhere and tracked down where the dead branches started and the live branches ended. And I have come up with this, and I hope this is doing good. I'm a little concerned about the exposure of the trunk because there's not a lot of leaves covering it, but look how fast the leaves are growing. And I think now that they have space and unencumbered sun, I'm hoping that they will start just shooting out everywhere. I will be feeding this again here shortly. You'll notice this other suffering orange tree has been cut entirely back. I am not sure what to do with this. I'm gonna have to take some pictures and send it to some people who know more about this. There are no leaves growing above what I am thinking is the graft point, which I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the graft point right here. Anybody who knows better, please, oh please tell me. But I think this is completely died above the graft point. And if I come around this side, you'll notice we have new branches down below the graft point. And I just saw a comment from, or I just saw a video from San Diego Seed Company. And if you'll notice, these leaves are breaking out in sets of 3. Are they, or is it a set of 4? It's a set of 4 leaves in there. So I'm looking, no, it is a set of 3 leaves. I'm looking at that, and then I'm coming up over here to the Satsuma orange tree, and it doesn't come up the same way. It's coming up in these sets of individual leaves. Now, I can't tell, is that a set of 3 leaves coming out? I'm not sure. I don't think it is. The leaves look a little bit different, so I'm thinking it's rootstock, and I'm thinking I may need to just take it out. Oh my goodness, look at the lizard coming down the branch at us up here. They're both staring at us, one here in the foreground and one back in the background. They're just trying to blend in. They don't see me, don't see me. So yes, we have the dead Satsuma orange tree, and we have the live one. This first one has always suffered. In fact, I talked to my neighbor on the other side of the white fence here, and he says this tree, I've only been living here a year and a half. This tree, he said, has never done well. And I'm hoping if we take this tree out, then maybe that one will thrive even better. Maybe I'll put a lemon tree in over here or something. They're not quite as big, but it's coming out strong with lots of leaf growth everywhere. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing to it that I did to the pink grapefruit tree. Yeah. So, looking over here in our nursery. Of course, a lot of you saw the citronella. I got a lot of subscriptions off that little short video. Very excited to see buds coming on our citronella for the first time. This is just the coolest thing. And there's still weeds growing. Oh, look at that. It's just, I love these. I don't like that they're growing here, but there's the seed. There's the plant. There's the root. It's a whole science illustration right there. Seed, roots, plant, tree. big tree. That's something else. I love it every time one of these comes up. That's just the neatest thing. The other citronella, now this is the oldest citronella I've got, and this thing has beautiful, these blooms are just amazing. Look at that. Is that not the most beautiful thing? And the smell, oh, is amazing. This keeps mosquitoes away. There's another citronella over there on the end, and there's another one down over there. But I've managed to always keep two going. I'm going to be doing some cuttings off of this. Maybe, actually, I might be trying to keep seeds off the flowers. I have a feeling they're going to be small, small seeds. We'll see. Coming down the rest of these grow bags, this Fatale pepper plant in the bucket is about to get processed for its experiment. It is an experiment. I have another Fatale, and ooh, look at this Chinese giant bell pepper. That thing's been eaten into. This thing just can't seem to grow big in the bag. Not very impressed with it. Jalapenos. Got a bunch of jalapenos about to start coming out because the weather's changing. Some peri-peri. I think this is peri-peri. I believe. I can't tell. More jalapeno, Fatale. Another Fatale. There's more jalapeno. Big jalapeno right there. We've lost that orange bell over here. We have a orange bell pepper here, and it looks like it might be trying to come back out. I'm not sure. Have to see what happens to this. Jalapeno, giant, Chinese giant peppers. Fatale, that's a Chinese giant back there on the back. Oh, I'm sorry. Ha! Wait a minute. This is potatoes. Oh! These two potato bags have suffered. Well, what is going on here? The water. I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate and run the irrigation system and see what's happening. We have a single wandering Jew that wandered onto the property. Actually, someone gave it to me. I'm still not sure what these are. Waiting for the flower to come out. There's that other oh, this is actually my original cuttings of citronella that I've had for a long time, and it's actually coming back with some mountain mint right next to it. Over there, there's looks like a tray of nothing over there. But we do have, here's some rosemary. Some of these rosemary have survived, some of them have not. And we need to get through here and process these rosemary. This is not rosemary, this is a weed. Oh, that was rosemary. Doggone it, I just pulled up a rosemary. Oops, I need to be more careful what I'm doing here. Another rosemary that could thrive when it gets planted in the ground. Up in between there, there's another rosemary looking pretty good. These are all pomegranate trees. And one of these is going up in the strawberry patch where that dead pomegranate tree is going. Is coming out of, I should say. A couple more rosemary. Few surviving. We've just kind of left them here to fend for themselves. And of course, Fatale and jalapeno and a few other peppers that have been here since July 22nd of last year. And this, folks, is March 25th. Survived the winter. Of course, I did bring them in. But now these are also pomegranate trees. And there's actually some other things growing up in here. Those yellow flowers, those beautiful little yellow flowers. I got to clean those up a little bit. But those are pomegranate trees coming out. And then we have the grape arbor. And look at these things. I'm looking forward to this thing just shooting out this year. And every single little tendril is growing. Every single, in fact, the longest tendril is this one right here. And it's growing out all the way to the very, very, very end. That's so exciting, and it's reaching out for new life. So these grapes, last video tour, there wasn't a thing on them, I don't believe. There may have been a couple of leaves at the bottom. Other than that, there wasn't a thing on them. Certainly not this high. So within 1 month, it went from brown sticks to all green. just climbing this thing. And some of these cattle, 2 of these cattle panels, I think one's gonna go on the front and one's gonna go on the back, because you'll notice we have our 18-day compost, and we're about to analyze our experiment with the 18-day compost. You might have seen several reels, our shorts come out. You might have seen a few videos come out about our 18-day compost. And I'm hoping later today to get samples of all these so that we can conclude this experiment and see how it looks for using as compost. And of course, the mountain looming up in the back here is, you called it, blueberries. And let me come in close. This is very exciting. Leaves are starting to come out. You can see leaves starting to pop out, but look at these blueberries. They are just everywhere. In fact, some of them are just starting to turn blue. Just starting. The bees appear to have no longer staked a claim to these. They're not in here as much. I do hear them buzzing around here occasionally because there are still some buds. In fact, let me see if I can pull this down here. You can see here, there's still some buds, but you can see on the same branch, there's blueberries coming out. So there are still just a few buds on these plants, and I think we might still have another flush of buds coming out. But it's looking strong. The leaves are starting to grow, which means they're starting to get solar energy to grow these blueberries. Oh, there's a bee right there. You see the bee? Oh, he just flew away. There's a couple of bees in here. They're not very prolific in here. That's not one of my bees, I don't believe. But the blueberries are looking strong. We've stuck compost, we've stuck feed in here, we have stuck soil acidifier in here, and I've pulled a bunch of vines out. In fact, you can see the kind of vines. This is the stuff I'm pulling out. So just tons and tons of this stuff growing everywhere. And every once in a while I climb back in there and find the base of these things and pull them down from the bottom so that we can get them clear. I don't see anything sticking up at the moment. They kind of wave on the top when they're reaching out. They wave at a different frequency than the blueberry plants, so they're really easy to spot. So there it is, March 2023 front and side garden tour, and we're looking like we have got our official month 12 of the first year of full garden tours started, and I am so excited. In fact, interestingly enough, everything you see out here in the front of the house was all grass when we bought this place about a year and a half ago, a little less than a year and a half ago. We have been taking out a lot of grass to put in various edibles, various pollinator attractors, everything we can. Now, mind you, this property actually came with over 24 fruit trees. It came with the blueberry patch that you just saw. It came with something else I can't think of right now, but it came with a lot of stuff. Even the strawberry patch that we start with was green grass. Where the wood chip pile that was green grass. Well, it was a ratty piece of green grass, but it was green grass nonetheless. So we are in the process of getting more things converted. Where those arch trellises are with the mammoth melting snow peas, we're going to have more beds coming down here eventually. Not sure when. I know I want to get one more bed in sooner than later because I want to grow some tomatoes over there. And we're going to develop more in the pollinator beds. I still have to come up with a good plant to put in the back of this front pollinator bed that'll go good next to that angel trumpet. Angel trumpet's a pretty big bush, and I'd like something that could hold up next to it and be somewhat shade tolerant. But if you have any suggestions, please comment down below in the comments below this video. And if you have any ideas, if you have any recommendations, or if you have any questions about things that I've done, please feel free to ask. I am just learning this stuff. This is my 4th year of successful gardening. I have been learning on YouTube. And let me tell you something, YouTube is a fantastic resource. And I believe very strongly in this community on YouTube that is just ever growing and becoming such a fantastic resource. You can learn, well, first of all, you can learn anything. When it comes to gardening, you can learn anything. And the cool thing is, the thing I just find most fascinating, you know, there's a lot of gardening channels out there, and some of these gardening channels speak to some people and some of them don't. And the thing is, find the ones that match your personality. If you like that person doing that gardening channel, there's a few that I love. I love Roots and Mrs. Bowtie and I both love Roots and Refuge, Stivers, uh, uh, Living Traditions Homestead. There's so many of them out there. There's some that just I watch, and that really speak to me. And so, you know, I've mentioned this several times recently, the potato videos. There's several people that have put potato videos out here recently, and you know, beginning to end potato videos. I've got one coming out pretty soon. As soon as those potatoes up there that are really looking bad die, I've got to have a potato video coming out. But you know, I'm here in Destin, Florida. I do things one way. Callie Kim out in Los Angeles, she does things another way, and she has a different personality. And I know for a fact there are people that like her better than they like me, and that's fine. And then Hollis and Nancy, and you gotta love Hollis and Nancy. They got plenty of space, but boy, they go through every detail, beginning to end with these videos, and just do some fantastic stuff. And Luke over at MI Gardener, and all these people doing these potato videos, and each one of them has a little something different, just a little something different. And the cool thing is, as you're going along and you're doing your stuff, you say, I want to try that process. And maybe it doesn't work. Log it somehow, write it down, put it on a computer, write it on your phone, make a video, put it on your YouTube channel if you wish. But, you know, keep a record of it. And if it doesn't work, try something different next year. And you can find great things to do all over the place. It's so awesome. And so we're building a community here. And you know, I've asked people to subscribe to my channel, and it's just part of the growing whole. All the people that are out there, the millions who have subscribed to all the channels out there, and people are finding channels that speak to them. If you don't like my style, I guarantee there's someone out there who will speak just to you and be just your kind of person, and give the details you need, or maybe specifically for your area. Gardener Scott, you know, he's in Colorado, and of course I'm in Destin, Florida. He's up in Colorado, near the mountains, foothills of the mountains, I guess it is. And his growing area is completely different. I learn stuff from him all the time. But you know, he has a following locally, people that follow him that learn right for their area what they do. And they're learning certain things from him. I'm learning certain things from him. Some guy in Germany is learning certain things from him. It's just such a resource of information, and so many different ways to learn that we have the ability to try out all these different ways. And I encourage you to do that and grow the community, and subscribe to those channels that you find speak to you. And just, you know, stay contacted with them, and spend time with your people, and learn to get to know them. And it's interesting because sometimes you get to know them and they try things and you realize, oh, I know why they're trying that, because 2 years ago, you know, something happened, and you start getting these stories all put together and stuff. So it's just it's really a wonderful time. You know, this is a golden age, and I think it's only going to get better for learning how to garden. And so anyway, all that being said, if you're stumbling along and finding my channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. Those subscriptions help grow this channel. Subscriptions to all the people you like help grow their channel. It helps to grow the community. If you've already subscribed and you're watching this, you know, watching more videos that I've created, I appreciate it. Every single view helps the channel grow. And comment below. Ask questions. Tell me what you've tried, what you find didn't work for you, and tell me where you're at. I'm in Destin, Florida. This area is beautiful. And so, you know, like we talked about first in the beginning of this video, you know, we're talking about the weather and how the weather here is so much different than literally just 10 miles in that direction to the north. And so, you know, I find it fascinating to see what different people find in their area. And click the thumbs up on this video if you think that it's informational, educational, or entertaining. And share with your friends on your social media if you have friends that might enjoy what you saw in this video. All of this, they're all free things. The comments, the watching, the subscribing, thumbs up, sharing, all this is free stuff that you can do. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps grow the channel, and I appreciate all of that. I appreciate everything everyone is doing. And so again, this is just my personal journal of what's going on in the garden, and I started this just so I could keep track, because I'm ADD, I'm a bit OCD. I don't like writing in journals. I don't do well on computers anymore. I actually have a web development company, and I'm having a very difficult time with web development, and so I don't find computers as compelling as I did. However, I've always found cameras and video a lot compelling. I've actually done various commercials and video work and stuff like that over the decades, and this just really speaks to my mind right now in this season of my life. And so that's what this channel is for me. It's just my personal journal, and you are welcome to join along if you like it. And so, all that being said, I like to end my videos every single time, and I always say have a blessed day, because I think all blessings come from God. And the Bible says that all blessings come from God, and I just hope that God brings blessings on you, your family, your life, your garden, because He is here to do that. And yeah, that's why I like to always end every video with have a blessed day.